Good afternoon, no, good evening, it's already evening. We are here with the semi-finals for the Dreamhack Winter Qualifier, online qualifier that is, the second one of the three that are to be held, or that are being held. And we have a game between WhA on the Radiant side and Infernal Canibus on the Dire side, and it's going to be a best out of one, and then we are going to go on to the finals, which is a best out of three. But which one of these two teams is going to be it? WhA, we've just seen them beating their opponents in the previous game. Infernal Canibus has made it through this bracket, beating, amongst others, NextKZ, of course a name that you might know. And we're going to see how they're going to be doing it this game, if they're going to be able to beat WhA. We just saw WhA playing with the Wisp, and they're going to be playing with it again. They are picking it up. Let's see if they're going to use a Juggernaut with it again. So far we have a Templar, Assassin, Bedrider, and a Bounty Hunter and Disruptor being banned out, with the Disruptor already being banned out by WhA and picking up Wisp as first pick. They are giving away the Darkseer and the Rubik potentially as well, but having that Wisp secure is probably something that they really wanted to have. So at least they got that one secured, but let's see what Infernal Canibus is going to be getting instead of it. Darkseer is already, of course, a very strong hero, though we did see Darkseer in the previous game as well, and even though it made a bit of a difference in the fights and stuff like that, he didn't win the game. It's just that simple. Yeah. Oh well, we're gonna see it though. They pick up the Jakiro, and not too unsuspected or unexpected pickup, as of course Jakiro has had a prominent role in a lot of games so far. Chaos Knight is gonna be the pickup for WhA, securing that combination with that Wisp. Previous game they of course had a Juggernaut with that, but that was because every other combination basically was banned out. But the Chaos Knight is the pick here, and let's see what they're gonna be complementing that one with. I mean, they have got a dual lane now sorted. Do they want to go for a jungle hero again? Maybe for a Chen, maybe for an Enigma? No, they go for a Rubik for themselves, so this might be turning into a tri-lane and then two solo lanes. Of course, we've seen Rubik in a solo lane before this as well, so it might be the case, but we will find out, as that is also something, of course, for IC to be thinking about, because what do they need to counter? Do they need to counter a tri-lane, or do they need to counter a Rubik solo mid? That's where it is. That's where it is gonna be. Let's see though. 10 seconds before they're gonna go into bonus time. They've got their support sorted. They've got their long lane sorted. What else are they gonna give away? That's basically the question here. I mean, they might have already know what they want to be playing, but what pick are they gonna do to release the least of their strategy, with still having not the chance that your opponent's gonna ban or pick the heroes that you want to have? I know. Did that make sense? Makes sense to me. 50 seconds left. They're really thinking this through though, like massively. They could just pick up a jungle hero to secure that one, but that will also indicate that they already know that they're gonna be going to run a dual lane, which might be giving more away than they want to. They could pick up a Tide Hunter to have a tri-lane, but also to have a team fight hero that the opponent is not going to have anything like it, which basically goes for all heroes, of course. I mean, there's only one like each hero, unlike a different game that I won't mention, but still it is that's going to be a Chen, so it's going to be a jungle hero. So realizing they're going to be having a dual lane with the Jakiro and something else that's not been picked up yet. We have the Undying being banned out by WhA. Of course, they don't want to be facing that one if you have a pushing lineup, or if you're... Well, Undying fits into a pushing lineup. They don't want to be facing that. I don't blame them. They are really annoying, Undyings, that is. Storm Spirit will be banned out here as well, as they faced it in the previous game. Apparently didn't really like to be facing that one. We have got a Leshrac being banned out as well as an Enigma, to avoid having that Enigma at least in the jungle for WhA, meaning that they want to be the only one that has a creep in the jungle. At the same time, of course, Radiant side, in my opinion, is a bit easier to farm for the supports with the creep waves coming in. So that is a difference there. That WhA can still be killing those creeps in the jungle, especially if they're gonna run a tri-lane there. They will probably see the Rubik doing exactly that. Last ban coming up from WhA, what is it gonna be? Is it gonna be something that would normally be paired up? To be fair, everything pairs up with the Jakiro. but the Sven does it. And apparently, I mean, Sven was played in the previous game as well, and they did not like facing that one, so they banned it out. We have got the Nature's Prophet banned out for the last one for IC, with the Windrunner being picked up here by WhA, securing their long lane solo, indicating only one hero left to pick up if Rubik is indeed gonna be a support, but that is their solo mid. If Rubik is gonna be solo mid, then they still have space for a jungle hero if they want to do that. But right now I think it might just be a trial and then a mid lane to be picked up. I mean, there's still plenty left. For example, Queen of Pain is still there. At the same time, that is of course heroes that IC needs to pick up as well. So they need to pick up a solo mid, and probably gonna do it now before WhA picks up theirs, because next to that solo mid they also need their carry to go together with the Jakiro, and you kinda can assume that WhA is not gonna pick up a carry that can't solo mid anymore. Unless there's of course the carry that can solo mid. They are gonna pick up their... Oh, this is surprising, to be fair. Maybe they wanna go for a surprise solo mid pick that they weren't expecting, or want to make sure that at least WhA cannot counter the pick they are going to pick up. Like for example, if they're going to pick up a Pudge, if they already did that, then you might have a Lifestealer already being countering that one. But if you now pick up your normal solo mid lane, you don't know what to counter. That's quite interesting. I think I like it. Surprises me, but at least it makes WhA a bit more. It leaves them a bit more in doubt about what they are going to be countering with their solo mid hero. Jen will be the farmer next to the Jakiro, obviously. Now let's see what WhA is going to be picking up. Shadow Fiend still in. There's so many solo mids still in. I would like to see a Night Stalker personally. I like Night Stalkers. Oh no, well actually no, I don't like Night Stalkers anymore since their wings don't update properly. I would like to see... Not really a Shadow Fiend. I think I'm done with Shadow Fiend. Invoker is of course still in, always a solid solo mid. It's one of those picks that is just very safe. So maybe they want to go for that. 40 seconds left. Bonus time at plenty for them, with only 5 seconds left in the bonus time for IC. Oh, what is it gonna be? Oh. Whoa. So this kind of changes things around. Now it's kind of saying, you know what, we're gonna have a Rubik Chaos Knight dual lane and a Wisp Tiny dual lane. 2 dual lanes. Gotta be the case for WhA Asian, with one of those dual lanes gonna be going to the mid lane probably, with Windrunner long lane solo still. I like it. And right now, try to counter that IC. That is gonna be a lot more difficult, because of course they already have their jungle hero, so they already are outnumbered on the lanes, and if they still want to be winning those lanes, well, that's going to be a bit more difficult. They pick up a Tidehunter. Interesting. I was not expecting that one. We'll see who's playing what, and we'll see who's going where, because that will be a surprise to me. Tidehunter could go mid, could be a very survivable hero there, with Darkseer also survivable, and then try to lane Jakiro and Faceless Void against that long lane Windrunner, to at least give Faceless Void some free time to farm, and then hopefully for them they can stop the push-ins that are gonna come out from WhA Asian, with the Macropyre, with the Ravage, with everything they can throw out, and hopefully for them hold long enough until that Faceless Void is of course ready to be carrying the game. But let's see who is playing what first. We're gonna jump ourselves over to Infernal Canibus first, or short IC, which I'm gonna call them. IC will be played, likes. Okay. My stream is still running though. Oh well. Looks like I did drop some frames. That was probably on my side. So sorry for that one. Shouldn't happen anymore. But we have got Inquisitor playing the Faceless Void in the top lane. He of course is gonna be supported by Jakiro, who is being played by me, TT Pum. In the jungle we'll have the Chen, played by Beyond. In mid lane we'll have indeed the Tidehunter, played by Sharfik. With the bottom lane reserved for the long lane solo for the Darkseer, played by Kabi Blayat, and we will be seeing who's playing what on WhA as Asian again. We have Crit this time on the Tiny. He'll be supported. No, he'll be supported probably by the Wisp, but it will be the Chaos Knight on the bot lane. Will be played by T. With the Wisp and Rubik already trying to clear out the jungle here with eating through trees. Only 2 trees left, and they're gonna of course use the Tether to try and do that. Let's see. That's the way. And Sheever will be played, that's actually RMC, will be playing the Rubik with Hip Hop Not Pop, playing the Wisp once more, just like the previous game. And it leaves only one left to be introduced, and it is the Nino playing the Windrunner, who is of course standing in normally from Meteor Maker. So that is going to be the lineup for these 2 teams. I really like the sudden change. Well, for me it came as a change, maybe for IC it didn't, but the sudden change of combinations, and it looks like we are going to have a tri-lane here on the bottom lane with Rubik also hanging around his bottom lane and Tiny actually solo mid, and he can do that. I mean, there's just one Tidehunter and he will be able to just be solo. He doesn't need the Wisp to stay alive here, even though he will be getting harassed, and the last hits will be a bit more difficult because of that anchor smash, but he'll be getting levels, and that's what Tiny wants, levels. In the meantime, we have a gank going off on the Windrunner here. Ice Path is still there if he wants to. There's the Ice Path. Not going to hit though. Windrunner running around there is going to be getting blocked here again by the Jakiro. More right clicks to go off. Windrunner still taking some damage. There's a stun forward. Windrun being activated, and that will keep her away. And that is not going to be a first blood going off in the top lane for now. As I think, like, in theory, Windrunner should be safe on this lane. She's not going to be getting that many last hits. She's not going to be getting that much experience. But you know, that's why she's a long lane solo, to stay alive. It's that simple. Tidehunter will be getting the most of the last hits here, I think, especially since he can just anchor smash every time, and Tiny can't really get close. When the levels of Crit gets up a bit, maybe he can toss Avalanche, but I don't think that will actually kill the Tidehunter. We actually have a rotation going on right now with the Darkseer coming together with the Chen. Darkseer thinking he can't do anything anymore on the bottom lane because that Chaos Knight is just too dangerous. The trial lane, he cannot do anything. No real surprise, and Rubik just pulling creeps and trying to well, that one didn't work, trying to stack and just trying to deny some creeps there in the mid lane, and of course getting some experience there too. That was an avalanche. See, that barely does any damage. Telekinesis there, right clicks, but again Tidehunter. Oh, Courier though! That was the Courier, and that is just carelessness by Sharvik. Courier going down, which is a big thing. He did manage to bring the bottle to the Tidehunter, but Tidehunter will also be getting that invisibility rune to get his stacks bottle charge back up, but that is a big loss for the Dire team. No more Courier means no more items being brought to you for another 3 minutes, and in the start of the game that is so important. And where did Darkseer go? He's actually on his way to bottom, and again, he's level 2 right now, might be able to do some more with a Surge and an Iron Shell. Having that escape. In the meantime, Chaos Knight, of course, free farming 13 for 7 for him, with 14 for 7 on this guy here. On the Faceless Void, now 15 for 7, but he is, of course, getting free farm as well, even though Windrunner tries to do what she can to stop him from farming. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. For now, she's still alive. Elaine is pushed to her court. She's happy. She's getting some experience. She's level 3 already, with level 3 Faceless Void as well. She's only half a level behind or so, and gonna get some harassment out there as well, actually quite a bit. And Jakiro actually pulling and stacking again, now 2 stacks, so that will be an entire lane, entire wave denied, as Crit can't do anything now because the Crit wave is way back, and there's a nice block coming out from Sharvik, so he can stay up the high ground and still get his last hits going. Crit just having to wait around, and Anchor Smash will make sure again that his last hitting is just going to be that much harder. In the meantime, we have, of course, Chaos Knight level 5 right now. I think the moment that someone comes here to help the Chaos Knight take down the Darkseer, it will be a kill, because there's just a lot of disable coming off from that Chaos Knight. And of course, maybe the Wisp Tether as well. The thing about the Wisp and the Chaos Knight is, if you Reality Rift, you always come out on the other side of the target that you Reality Rift in, or mostly, and that will mean that the Tether stun will hit regardless. And that is just so a guaranteed stun when you Reality Rift in. It's pretty powerful, and we actually have now, I think, a go on this Darkseer. There's gonna be a stun, 1 second only though. Is it gonna be enough? Reality Rift comes in, that's a stun, and this will be the first blood. Telekinesis as well, and it will be the Wisp that gets the last hit, and that will be the Darkseer going down. First blood spilled. Bottom lane, WhA as Asian taking the lead there, as Rubik picks up the haste rune, gonna harass this Tidehunter a bit, who can't really do all that much. and will just be hiding at his tower again as Tiny picks up some last hits for himself. Tiny now on 18 for 1, with the Tide Hunter actually being on 13 for 1. So the thing that I said at the start apparently not really working out for the Tide Hunter, as Tiny still getting those last hits pretty safely by the looks of it. 20 for 2 right now, and yeah, Tide, I mean, he's just a bit behind. Of course, he now went for the rune that he didn't get, but yeah, Tiny at least not being shut down as much as I thought that he would be. And now Darkseer realizing, you know what, I really can't do anything there, so I'm just gonna go back into the jungle, and he is gonna be there. I'm gonna be taking the easy camp. I'm gonna be stacking it as well, I think. Yes, bam, new ones that can heal themselves. A bit annoying. Meantime, Darius Courier respawn should be upgraded soon. Oh, it still had the boots. Oh, it still had the boots from the Tide Hunter. That is a massive blow there. But he didn't die, I guess. But still, it is a big thing to be missing. The thing that I like about a Tiny in the mid lane, by the way, is, well, normally because he's now 1.5 level behind on the Tiny, but he's getting his levels fast, so it will be a Ravage up very soon, which will mean he's ready to fight earlier. Even though, having said that, I know that he's probably not going to be looking for those fights all that much, unless it's going to be WhA pushing in, because they have the Faceless Void and they want to just hold on until he is farmed enough to do more there, as it looks like, whoa, Jakiro thinking about laying down an Ice Path, but not going to be able to do that anymore. Oh, now he does. Ledges on the Nino. Is there going to be more level 5 on the Faceless Void still? So no Chronosphere, no kill yet. Power Shot actually does a lot of damage to this Faceless Void, as I do think that as soon as he's level 6 he will try to go for that Windrunner. As Windrunner is now level 5, she's actually been getting a lot of experience in this lane, as we have an Avalanche on the Tide Hunter. Is there going to be a toss still? Yes there is, and that will keep the kill to crit, with again Rubik coming in to help. 2 kills done on the side of WhA, and the Rubik being present for both of those. Oh, nice job roaming around as he's level 4. That is of course a bit sad for him, and there's of course that massive difference still with the Chen being in the jungle and stuff. Let's just see how that works out on the levels. We have got 3 heroes of the Radiant side being very high. It is of course the Chaos Knight that's free farming on the bottom lane, and also free farming on the lane without having a support taking experience from him. Tiny has been getting a lot of experience as well in this middle lane, especially now that he also got a kill there. And the rest is all level 5 or lower, and that is surprising, especially for this Faceless Void, who did have a lot of free farm, but it is the Jakiro that is level 4, and all this experience he's been getting mostly from the lane, as Windrunner finds some more harassment here. One more power shot might actually do the job if he gets a couple more harassment shots in there, and that could be trouble unless he backtracks that, of course, which is Faceless Void's thing to do, I guess. And that's the Chronosphere. Is there going to be a stun? We are gonna see Test of Faith there. Windrunner is still there, though. Stun is gonna be too late. And we have a pause from the Chaos Knight. What a pause! Well, it was, of course, a pause coming over Hip Hop Not Pop, indicating that he was gonna have a pause. But this Windrunner, I think actually, I mean, he's not gonna get stunned. He's gonna be stunned in an Ice Path, but will that be enough? Time Lapse is on cooldown. Ice Path on cooldown. I don't think that Jakiro will be fast enough to get himself a in place for a breath. Windrunner's got boots as well. Chen doesn't have boots. And this is a bit of wow. I was thinking the Centaur could have stunned earlier. An Ice Path could have been laid down earlier, and then shut her down regardless. But we're gonna see when the pause ends how it's gonna end. I think Windrunner is safe. I think she should be safe, but we will find out. She will also have support incoming. Rubik coming in, level 4. Of course, if she would die, then Rubik will be backing off again as well, but Telekinesis might actually help save her life. If this Faceless Void decides to dive, that will be trouble for him, especially with the Rubik around the corner. Rubik that actually, no, that does not have a extra rune, it just have that illusion rune. And we of course have that one, Hanamite is up on the Faceless Void, helping him, getting more golden experience there, as I will take this opportunity to check out the gold graph. No surprise there. 2k gold in favor of WhA, as they of course are leading the charts on the last hits in 2 of their lanes, the middle and the bottom lane, with only Faceless Void leading the charts on the top lane. And apparently the golden experience that the jungle was getting from IC is not enough, especially of course because Darkseer is really not getting anything, and Windrunner actually is getting something. If you take a look at the last hits, Windrunner is actually fairly high up on there, higher than the Darkseer, actually same amount as the Darkseer, but Darkseer has jungle creeps just like the Chen, so it's worth a bit less. And there's the ready again. Let's see how this Windrunner will handle herself. Ice Path still hits, right click still go, but she should be fine. Breath is not hitting, and she is gonna be safe. And here comes the Rubik. One more hit needed, and it will be the Centaur going down. Gank did not work for IC. And they back off again, as in the mid lane we have Crit. Doesn't have enough mana to throw in this combination though, and I think Sharvik knows that, so he's gonna be a bit ballsy here, throwing out some right clicks. He's also, of course, full on HP. He's got his Ravage. He is feeling pretty confident, but he is still 2 levels below the Tiny. So quite surprising there, as we have the Chen getting picked off there. Telekinesis, Fate Bolt, Power Shot, Shackle. It's all it takes, apparently, even though it's, of course, quite a lot. But Chen being picked off there, and it's gonna give his creeps away as well, by the looks of it. And it looked to be a fairly easy kill, as they're gonna be a gosh, toss hits upon this Tidehunter, who still has a Ravage if he wants to throw it out, but I think Rubik now realized that also, and they use this salve and will be staying alive rather than diving anything, as we have the Wisp half level to go before his level 6, and then we can see this combination getting some places, as Chaos Knight has now reached level 8. And normally, of course, when you see that Chaos Knight level 8, you know that he has maxed out Chaos Bolt, maxed out Reality Rift, and he will be jumping around the map together with that Wisp to try to get some kills there. Wisp picks up Boots, picks up his Magic Wand. It's also a happy Wisp. Has been farming in the jungle a bit, of course. And yeah, like I said, half level to go before he can be using his relocate there. Tidehunter picked up a Haste Rune and still not thinking about trying to get a solo kill up on the Tiny, as we have a Tornado coming in from the Chen. Creep that is standing around there, nice and annoying for the Tiny. As, what is he doing? He's gonna TP towards the top lane. This is looking to be a gank on this guy right here. They need to kill him, and they have 10 seconds left before his Chronosphere is off cooldown again. I'm not sure if this is the right plan. There's gonna be a Shackle, Latches, Power Shot, Fade Bolt. Here comes the Tiny, Avalanche, Toss, you're dead. And that will be the Tiny picking up the kill. Nicely set up fight with the Windrunner hiding here. She was able to get there, and that was just a solid kill for them. Some harassment on the tier 1 tower, and it's gonna be Rubik that's gonna come in from the side as well. Eats a tango because he can. Power Shot to go through, and there's an Avalanche over Toss at least again. Some more damage to the tower as the next creep wave comes in. Chen trying to do what he can, gets himself a Centaur, trying to pull the creep wave back. If he can do that, that will be a good start. I'm gonna wait for a stun, I'm gonna look for a stun, not gonna be able to find it though. The harassment on the Centaur is definitely there, and if they can kill him, tower will be not enough. And now Faces Void is back with the Chronosphere. And we do have Chaos Knight. Oh, sorry, Wisp should be level 6 now, yes he is. So let's see if they're gonna be going somewhere. Of course you're gonna think like, where are they gonna gank? Who are they gonna gank? Maybe mid lane. Tidehunter still have his Ravage though, that's not really ideal to be going up on. This guy is better, but then actually they have a ward, they know exactly where he is. And of course Jakiro is a good target here as well. So well, Faces Void close by is a bit risky to be having. But yeah, we might see them trying something. Maybe they want to try to find the Chen. I mean, if they just TP like right here or something, maybe they hope they can get him. At the same time, Darkseid is around there, of course, as well. We do have them tethering. Where are they gonna go? You see the blinks going off. They know exactly. Yeah, there they go. And they're gonna go for this Jakiro. Is there gonna be a stun? Reality Rift. Ice Path still though. Nice job. But there's still gonna be a stun. 3 seconds, and that is gonna be a kill. Chaos Knight picks it up, and they will be going back towards the bottom lane to continue their farming streak. Easy pickup, and that's probably gonna be the first of many, as we as Asian definitely having a dominating grip on the game here. With Faces Void, he has got his Chronosphere, doesn't want to use it though, gets harassed only, and he knows it. It will be the Chen coming out here, but they of course realize that, as there is a ward there, so they are backing off, they are ready. And it's gonna be more TPs incoming, as Jakiro is back inside this top lane. But Rubik and Windrunner not backing off, wanting to make this Faces Void's life hell, wanting to give him as hard of a time as possible, while their Chaos Knight is just pushing tier 1 towers down, as the tier 1 tower bottom already dropped on their side, and he just wants to go for more relocate ready in 30 seconds, and he's gonna make use of that one again, as still Sharvik, still farming. Quite surprising, because I would expect him to maybe try to push down the towers, or at least, try to defend his own towers. Force out those fights. But they're still banking on that Faces Void to be getting enough farm, and I'm gonna switch to net worth actually. But net worth, I mean, it is the Chaos Knight that is just way ahead of everybody. Of course, also because of the tower, he's got himself an armlet. He has got 83 last hits, while the Faces Void only had 64, so that is a massive difference there, and that's the Windrunner's job. While the Darkseer, of course, on this bottom lane could not do anything at all. Relocate is back up again on that Wisp. Let's see if they're gonna go somewhere. Not yet. They need to find a place to go again. They need to find someone to gank out, to get out. They are maybe trying to help this Tiny stay alive, but it looks like Tiny made do on his own. Ravage being used in this actually. They tried to take him down, couldn't do it with the Ravage, with the double damage. I'm quite surprised with that Centaur even there to try to help with the gank, but they TP top. They're gonna get a stun on the Jakiro once again. Here comes the Chronosphere though, locks in too. It's gonna be the Wisp first. No, he walks into a Tether and will get stunned. It will be the Tidehunter that drops. Wisp will drop as well, leaving Chaos Knight alone, but Chaos Knight lands a 2-second stun on the Void. Gets a Reality Rift in, time lapse out, will it be enough? No more mana up on the Chaos Knight for now, but right clicks will be able to do it. One more needed, and that is going to be the Chaos Knight picking it up. Jakiro lands a Macropire on that Windrunner. Shackle will still latch though, but they need more mana. There's going to be a Fade Bolt again soon. Power Shot, Fade Bolt, Rubik goes down. Test of Fate still hits on the Windrunner. Well, Chen came in, and Chen goes down. Tiny picking up that kill, and that is gonna be a almost team wipe. The only one that didn't die was the Darkseer. He was by himself on this bottom lane, and there was of course only one death. A Wisp went down on the side of WhA Asian, but that is the first kill that IC has gotten so far, and that is pretty tough to deal with, to be fair. If you only get a Wisp in that encounter when you have a Chronosphere up on there, but that Faceless Void walking into the Tether, not the smartest thing to do. The Faceless Void now died twice so far and is not having the game that he was thinking he was gonna have. He is the most farmed hero on the Dire team, but that is also the hero that has got the same amount of farm as his counterpart, which was as in a counterpart, not really counterpart, as the hero that was opposed to him on the lane, and they were with the dual lane, and he was Windrunner was with the solo lane, so it's quite surprising to see that Windrunner still picking up that much. And of course it's also because the tower went down, and it was indeed Windrunner that picked up the gold for that one. So yeah, that is of course helping out, but it's still quite surprised to see that it happened 4 seconds stun. Wow, Chen, you're dead. Ice Path still hits, it's too late though. And the Ice Path got stolen actually. Rubik, nice spell to have, as Wisp still in some trouble, but time lapse away. There's the Ice Path on the Rubik, and the right click. Chaos Knight just picks him off. That was a fast 2 kills going the way of WhA Asian. We see the gold graph just spiking upwards as this is starting to look like a very one-sided game. Infernal Canibus really not able to work out their strategy properly. I mean, they have a Ravage again, but they just can't teamfight this. Even the initial burst damage, oh, 2 seconds stun, Darkseer, gonna get harassment, 2 TPs in, doesn't look like Chaos Knight cares all too much, actually. Gosh, heads, so there's the Surge as well, and that's gonna be Chaos Knight going down, because he's gonna use a Ravage for that one, and he will, right clicks, vacuum in, will get the kill, Rubik dies as well, Avalanche toss though, still kills off the Darkseer, here comes Jakiro, Macropire laid down, Crit specs is Grow, able to be a bit more big and tanky. Is it going to be enough? Walks away from the Ice Path. Breath will still hit. Will slow him down, of course. 30% slow. Pretty painful to deal with, but he seems to be okay. He's got a blink there, of course. 1 second before he can blink away again, and he will use it. No, he cannot. Ice Path there didn't hit him again, though, but will it be enough? There he has the blink. Avalanche toss, though. Wants to go back. Turn and burn. It's the Tidehunter that goes down. Jakiro doesn't look to be staying alive unless there's of course gonna be a Chronosphere, and it will be Wisp that will be the target for this Faceless Void, but Faceless Void really doesn't have all that much, and Tiny still picks up the Jakiro. Rubik's Fate Bolt actually did that one, and the Chronosphere got stolen by the Rubik, but it's not even needed. Tiny picks it up, and actually of course with the latest or the second latest patch I should say, Faceless Void is able to walk inside the Chronosphere of the Rubik, but I can't believe this Tiny didn't die. I mean, he just walked around there like a boss, turned around, killed off the Tidehunter, and was able to, oh, and picks up the regen rune, of course, as well. But was just able to just get all the kills back, get the Jakiro. Of course, Rubik helped out there as well with 16-3. Avalanche, toss, Darkseer, couple right clicks needed, that's one. Surge away, should be enough. Is it enough? There's a blink, of course, 1 second. No, not gonna be a blink. Gosh lands, Anchor Smash there as well, right clicks to be going, Ice Path, doesn't land, lands on the Chaos Knight though, and looks like Tidehunter will still get picked up, especially if he gets a 4 second stun there. Reality Rift in, Jakiro will drop, and 18-3 right now. It is looking to be very one-sided, and it looks like Crit has found himself a Chen, will be able to take it down, right clicks to go on the creeps to be left off, and yeah, what else to say about this game? It's going well for WhA Asian. They are looking good for the finals. Reality Rift in on the Faceless Void. 2 seconds stun landing on him. Right clicks to go. There's a time lapse, but Rubik's already stood there, Fate Bolt and right click from Wisp able to do the job. And I normally don't do this, but I would not be surprised if we see a GG being called very soon, because this Faceless Void does not look like he is gonna be in any form and shape to be carrying his team to victory. And they do need that. If they can't defend this, 4 seconds until another Ravage. Chronosphere though. Huh. And they can get away. Easily, safely. No Ravage for you. No team fight for you. Armlet, of course, on the Chaos Net. Let's take a look at some more of the items while we follow the Chaos Net around. Or should we actually? They smoked up. Like, they have one... If they need one good fight to turn stuff around. If they have one good fight, they might not be able to get all the differences in golden experience and stuff back. But they will be able to have that mind game. To have that mental advantage of the opponent knowing, like, okay, you know what? We can't just do what Tiny did. Like, Tiny turning around there around this to kill off the Tide. He would not have done that if he didn't think, like, he was so far ahead that he would do it. It was a bit of a ballsy move. Vacuum back in, Windrunner in some trouble, gonna get a gush in the face, right clicks, anchor smash, surge up on the Tide Hunter as well. More iron shells there, Mechanism being popped by the Windrunner, gonna try to force her down to the long guard, but Ravage is gonna be used and then she's gonna be going down. A lot of hate for one Windrunner, and here comes Crit. Wisp Tiny, Wisp CK actually coming in there. It's gonna be Chen that will go down. 2 seconds stun, landing on the Tide Hunter. No Ravage back anymore. Faceless Void, no Chronosphere for you for now, cause Telekinesis, cause Stun, cause Dead. And that is 3 kills going the way of WhA Asian once again. But yeah, like I said, if they get one good team fight, then they will have that mind game going again. They will have the opponent thinking, you know what, we cannot just run into them and kill them because we are stronger and we have the better laning. We had the better laners. And let's just wait and farm a bit more, and then actually their Faceless Void might be getting farmed a bit more. But for now, we as Asian, they're feeling like, you know what, we won that laning phase. We are taking them down like it's 23-4. Oh, BKB, you're dead. And he gets the tower as well. More TPs. Why are you TPing in? Why are you TPing into a BKB? Chaos Knight, surge away. Is it gonna be enough? Surge in. Surge got stolen. Chen, telekinesis. You're dead. Tiny picking him up. Doesn't seem like Chaos Knight really cares about his HP right now, even though it's pretty low. First from the Nino. For a second there, I thought he was gonna try to put him up onto the high ground. Windrunner, we saw the mechanism, we saw the 4 staff.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Is he AFK?
Dire's bottom
no
tower
gush?
has been denied. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, Death Prophet is really crazy right now, talking about Dire Towers and stuff, because nobody is defending this tower for now. Tower will go down, Windrunner picking it up once again.
Tower has fallen.
And in the meantime, Tier 2 tower of course went down of course as well, but that one got denied at least. But now no more towers on the map for IC, apart from of course their Tier 3 and 4s. Tied on to Ravage again in 18 seconds. Maybe Sharfik was pretending to be an illusion. And then Chaos Knight just thought, you know what, I'm not gonna turn around for illusions. Yeah. Illusions are beneath me. Avalanche, blink in, power shot, Sharfik doesn't want to die and doesn't want to use his Ravage, will be able to get out. Will be enough though. Crit has himself an egg and him Scepter, Mana Boots. 4 heroes standing around there for the Radiant team, with only 1 missing. Chaos Knight, because he thinks he needs to farm more, has got himself a Yasha. More horses incoming. And you see Crit, he's just looking for initiation. Shackle doesn't hit. Ice Path doesn't hit. If that Shackle would have hit, that Tiny would have gone crazy and just blinked in there and done his stuff. Right then and there. In the meantime, Chaos Knight continuing to push this lane out. Of course, is gonna try to push here and then just go this way or something. Or maybe split push. He can do that too with his horses. We'll see. They're still sticking around here. And right now, I mean, the thing about a Faceless Void is that he has to farm continuously in late game. He's not able to farm right now. Not at all. He's of course still building towards his Battle Fury. Doesn't have it by a long shot. And everybody backs off again. Continuing to farm here. They will only be pushing out the lane for a moment, and then we'll be back there. So we have. By the way, if you're wondering why do I hear doors open and close, it's because this guy at the shops and stuff like that opens, like the skeleton coffins. It doesn't open when I'm watching. Never mind. But it opens like when people walk by and stuff like that. Roshan being taken down in the meantime, in case you didn't see that yet. And of course, there's not going to be that much chance for IC to be taken to try to take down this Roshan instead, or to try to contest this from going down. Does CK miss it still? No, he still has it. Okay. And that's gonna be Aegis going towards Tiny, who can now be a bit more ballsy. Of course, that's what he wants to do. Power shot to go through. Right clicks. Be enough. Tiny wants to blink in. Avalanche toss everybody he sees. He's gonna get Ravage in the face when he does though. But it doesn't seem like they mind. Oh, dead blinks in, tosses that guy back. It's already dead. Gone. Darksy, you're dead. It will be the Tide Hunter. Reality back in. Where's your Ravage? No Ravage, you're dead. Damage on the tier 3, and they don't want to go in for this now. They have got the Chronosphere, but really they can't take anybody down. It will just mean delay. Chaos Knight will take down the tier 3. Barracks will be taken down. Ice Bat will still latch on some illusion. They're actually gonna go in, blink in again from the Tiny, who just wants to kill stuff. But the barracks go down instead of heroes, and the range barracks will drop probably there as well. Another Ice Bat will come out, hits on the Rubik. But it's just to support Rubik. And they will be going to the next tier 3. All 5 are. And they have the creeps in the base, so they can do that without getting a... they have these creeps, without getting the backdoor protection up on here. 24 for 7 gold graph, 25k. Experience graph, 25k. Some damage being done on this Chaos Knight. Gets 4 staff forward by his Windrunner teammate. Very considerate of him. And for now the tier 3 tower stands. Ravage is still there though, as well as the Chronosphere. Like, if they get a good Chronosphere, with a Macropyre inside there, with a vacuum wall, and a Ravage, landing perfectly in the middle of a lot of iron shells, and an ice path, and a dual breath. Like, they could still do it. But they need the Chronosphere. And Chronosphere is dead. In the meantime, with TPs, oh, he gets himself there just so that Chaos Knight can shop. This is the state of the game. Support Rubik goes in enemy base by himself, gets hit by Macropyre, doesn't care, just strolls himself out. And crit rather than farming anywhere else in the jungle. No, he's farming inside the enemy's base, and they cannot go in on it. 15 seconds until Faceless Void is in again. It's gonna be a tier 3 that goes down. Right clicks to go off. Faceless Void died 7 times so far. And that's gonna be Tiny blinking into an Ice Bat. Still has his Aghanim's though, or Aegis, sorry, has an Aghanos of course as well. Toss there, tosses the Chronosphere. Crit actually got put out of that one, but it's the Tide Hunter that goes down. 4 seconds down on Darkseer, goes down as well. Aegis being popped, so that's at least something that the Dire team got out of that one, but I don't think it will be enough. 4 staff forward. Telekinesis on the Faceless Void, who goes down again, and it's a GG. Well played, gets called out. No real surprise there, and we're just gonna wait until the throne explodes because we have seen enough wipes. This was the semi-finals of the Dreamhack qualifiers, online qualifier number 2 of the 3 that are there. We saw the finals of the first one on Monday. If you want to check out the VOD, you can go to my YouTube. Also, if you want to support me, subscribe to my YouTube. Address is youtube.com/SheeverGaming. I am a Ghost of Gamers caster. I am called Sheever. And we are going to see the finals after this one. The finals are consisting of a best out of 3. And we may be able to catch another semi-finals, depending on when they actually started and if we're going to be able to see that or not. The other semi-finalists is at least one of them is KP, who we of course know from being the shared #1 place at some point together with Na'Vi for the Ghost League Season 4, and in the end Na'Vi managed to beat them in a best out of 3 to get the #1 prize for the Ghost League. But yeah, we are gonna see finals, best out of 3. Let's hope those games are a bit more even than these. Because this game was a bit one-sided, don't you think? Yeah, I think so. Will Wispy still be TPing back there? Yes, there he is. There they are. Funny. Anyway, this is the end screen. We have a Desolator up on the Chaos Knight. I mean, he just had insane farm. Gold per minute, 718. So let's see what what the next game is gonna be bringing us, what the finals are gonna be bringing us, or if we can still catch the semi-finals. Anyway, stay tuned for more Dota 2 action for the Dreamhack online qualifiers coming right up. Don't go anywhere. More Dota 2 action coming your way.